We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. I cannot think of any need in childhood as strong as the need for a father's protection. Being entirely honest with oneself is a good exercise. Just as no one can be forced into belief, so no one can be forced into unbelief. One day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. The intention that man should be happy is not in the plan of creation. Future ages will produce further great advances in this realm of culture, probably inconceivable now, and will increase man's likeness to a god still more. He does not believe that does not live according to his belief. We are never so defenseless against suffering as when we love. Where does a thought go when it's forgotten? A woman should soften but not weaken a man. Experience teaches us that the world is not a nursery. It is impossible to escape the impression that people commonly use false standards of measurement. Words have a magical power. They can bring either the greatest happiness or deepest despair. Everywhere I go I find a poet has been there before me. When making a decision of minor importance, I have always found it advantageous to consider all the pros and cons. Life, as we find it, is too hard for us. It brings us too many pains, disappointments and impossible tasks. Religion is a system of wishful illusions together with a disavowal of reality. In the depths of my heart, I can't help being convinced that my dear fellow men, with a few exceptions, are worthless. The ego is not master in its own house. Words are capable of arousing the strongest emotions and prompting all men's actions. The voice of the intellect is a soft one, but it does not rest until it has gained a hearing. Where it was, their ego shall be. The ego refuses to be distressed by the provocations of reality, to let itself be compelled to suffer. In mourning, it is the world which has become poor and empty. In melancholia, it is the ego itself. One might compare the relation of the ego to the id with that between a rider and his horse. It is easy to see that the ego is that part of the id which has been modified by the direct influence of the external world. Children are completely egoistic. They feel their needs intensely and strive ruthlessly to satisfy them. The functional importance of the ego is manifested in the fact that normally control over the approaches to motility devolves upon it. At the height of being in love, the boundary between ego and object threatens to melt away. The repressed merges into the id as well, and is merely a part of it. Originally the ego includes everything, later it detaches from itself the external world.